We're gonna go for. You know what? We're gonna go for Taps again. Let's go for it. Taps. Where are we going in your team?
So we're going left wing. He's a dynamic, just straightforward player. That's Sadio Mane on the left.
No, goodness sake.
Like
that was my floated winger that I had. I had Beckham on one side, Mane on the other side.
When he first came to Southampton,
stop stealing my picks.
I had to. Everyone kept stealing my picks. I have to take. I was like, I have to go down my list. But he was really my second winger after Mahrez because even when he was at Southampton, he was scoring hat tricks. He was so dynamic. He knew he was going to get
the fastest hat trick in Premier League history at the time as well. Southampton.
Exactly. He's just straightforward. Like he's a player who plays for the other team as well. Obviously, he'll get his goals and get his assists, but he's not strung out on that. And he scored a lot of goals against us. He loved to score against Arsenal. Every time we're playing Liverpool, I'm like, Mane's going to score. We're winning 2-0. We lose 3-2. Mane scored. Perfect. So he was just there. One of my favorite players, a great guy too as well. And that's a lot of pace I have on my left wing. So I had to go for Sadio Mane.
I'm going to go for Heung-min Son.
One of my picks.
I'm glad I stole him from you. We could trade Bale for Son if you wanted to as well. I have to shout out Raheem Sterling, 100 Premier League goal club as well. We do have to talk about Patrice Evra, fantastic left back at the same time. Eden Hazard Lewis has already spoken about him as well, which is great. But Heung-min Son, for the history he's made of kind of, I think Taps will appreciate this as well, with the fact that when you see a lot of these players coming in from obscure countries as well, South Korea, Park Ji-sung was one of the first to come through. You saw someone like Lee Tai coming in from China. You see Inamoto from Japan at Fulham and Arsenal, respectively. When Son Heung-min did that, he put South Korea consistently on the map and is going to be down in history. He's going to get into the Premier League 100 club for goals as well, unless he's not there already. Travis, correct me if I'm wrong, if he is or if he's not. But with him and Harry Kane, that partnership will go down in history as one of the most dynamic partnerships in Premier League history. It may not have won a Premier League or win anything in that matter, but it's still going to be very good in what he's done as well. Lewis, you get your first pick, then Travis, and then we're all on our final picks. So Lewis, where are we going with yours, my friend?
Yeah, so partnering Hazard in this Tuchel-esque 3-4-3/3-4-2-1, it is Wayne Rooney.
Good choice.
I've got him just behind the front man. And I think that with Hazard, those two would have been ridiculous. They would have.
Oh God. Travis, why didn't you win that pick, man?
In it. But Rooney, again, I think he's definitely Man United's best ever player. I think he's England's best ever player. And I think that if you're talking raw talent, burst onto the scene at 16, just incredible what he could do, especially young Rooney, who was like really raw and aggressive and just needed that coaching, but still had that like street footballer mentality. And again, it's a common theme throughout all these teams. It's winners, and Rooney was a fantastic footballer.
Nicely done though with Wayne Rooney. Lewis, you stole my favorite player because I was going to have a Rooney-Ronaldo partnership. So Travis, this is your penultimate pick, your second to last pick. Where are we going?
I'm going to go for my left winger. Like I said, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and put Bale on the right, even though he never played on the right in the Premier League, really. But my left winger, someone who I'm very, very surprised no one else picked up, Ryan Giggs. The way he developed his style as well. I mean, obviously in the younger years, he was, a classic winger of the era. And then as the sport developed and as his legs started to go and stuff, he played in that sort of deeper lying playmaker role, and he did it supremely well. He was a fantastic midfield player, even when he did move into midfield as a secondary position.
Yeah.
I just think, over 100 goals in the Premier League, over 100 assists. He's got the record actually for most assists in the Premier League, and by a mile as well. I don't know if any of you guys have looked, but he's a good way ahead of anybody else. Yeah. I just think he was brilliant. I'm very, very surprised that he's not been picked up, but I'll take him.
So we're all on our final pick as well. This is just going to be my order. I'm going to let Taps go first. Taps, you've been very patient waiting for your final pick. So let me see who you've got up front with Thierry Henry in your side.
So I'm gonna play this, him just behind Thierry Henry, like more of the center forward position, and that's Dennis Bergkamp. I'm sorry, that's Dennis Bergkamp. There's not much else we could say. Brilliant goals, good touches, more of a
the best first touch in Premier League history, in my opinion. I think he's got the best, better than Berbatov, better than Mata. A lot of these Man City players, David Silva, I'd say is the best that I've ever seen personally for Dennis Bergkamp.
He just thought differently. The only other person I've seen make passes and just think a little bit more like him was kind of Ozil, with some of the passes he made, some of the things he did. So brilliant player, number 10 on his back, him and Henry up front. I lock in my team.
Lewis, let's go with you, my friend. Who's your final pick? Who are you going for?
Yeah, so my final pick is a guy that's currently still playing, and a guy that I do believe will be the Premier League's all-time top goal scorer.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
That is Harold Kane.
No.
Yes.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's my killer. You've got Rooney and Hazard just behind him. It's the team he's always deserved. And
the caliber of players is always deserved.
Yeah, he would win multiple trophies in this team. And I think that every team needs a goal scorer. And I think probably in about 4 seasons, he will be the Premier League's all-time top goal scorer.
Harry Kane is a shout, and that's a fantastic player to go for as well. So Harry Kane completes Lewis's lineup as well. You know what, Travis? I'll be generous. You have the pick before me. So who are you going to go for as your final pick?
I'm going to go for Aguero, I think. I toyed with Shearer as a backup to Kane, but I just think I've obviously watched a lot more of Aguero. And I think if not for his injury record being the way that it was, I think he probably would at least be close to Shearer's record, or a lot closer than he is. He was just an absolutely ruthless finisher. And like I mentioned earlier, he scored a lot of goals against Tottenham. So at the time, I had a lot of bad blood for him, but he was a player that I always liked watching. He was very, very entertaining, fantastic. The way he adapted his game as well when Pep Guardiola joined Man City, I thought he was going to be finished, because at first it looked like he wasn't going to run around as much as Guardiola wanted him to. But no, he adapted his game, improved his game, I would say, became even better, I think, under Guardiola. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Aguero over Shearer, I think. That's my last pick.
Excellent choice. Sergio Aguero, what a player he was. I'm going to go for Eric Cantona. I'm going to go for Eric Cantona. I'm going to keep it. He was the man who brought the Premier League to Manchester consistently. That's why whenever you see players coming into Man United, they're like, oh, he's got the Cantona aura about him. But no one will have the Cantona aura about him besides probably, in my opinion, Wayne Rooney, who could do that week in, week out, get the team back from a 2-1 down deficit to a 3-2 win. And Cantona did that consistently as well. But I've got to go for Eric Cantona because he was the man. And he would be similar to Bergkamp in terms of playing where he wanted as a striker. He could float around, he could create, he could score clutch goals in situations that he really didn't really have any right to, but he did. And he was an amazing passer of a ball for a striker as well. And Sir Alex Ferguson just loved him. I think is Ronaldo, Scholes, Giggs, and Eric Cantona, Sir Alex Ferguson said, were the only 4 world-class players to ever play for Manchester United.